All right, if you're watching this video, you're in our number and quantity class and you're getting a review on quiz 2. So quiz 2 is about interpreting a scenario and writing an exponential rule for it, and then graphing that using accurate graphing. Here's what this looks like. So we're going to start out with some prompts saying Alice is eating base 2 cake, meaning her height's multiplied by 2 each ounce she eats. Complete the table. Okay, so I give you 0, 1, 3, 5, and n ounces, right? So 0 ounces would mean she doesn't eat cake. This means she eats 1 ounce of cake, 3 ounces of cake, 5 ounces of cake, and n means she eats some ounces of cake but doesn't know how many ounces of cake. Then your job is to determine the height multiplier. And there's a couple ways to do it, but I'm really grading you based on do you know this number at the end. But in order to do that, I actually want you to see some of the math that happens. So I want to walk you through this. So basically, if Alice eats 0 ounces, that means her height's going to double 0 times. So whatever her height started with, it's going to be the same. And the question is, well, what can you multiply your height by to keep it the same? A lot of people might think, oh, 0. But careful, if you multiply any number by 0, you get 0. So if you multiplied your height by 0, you would be 0 feet tall, which isn't going to happen. You need to multiply your height by 1 in order to not change your height. Okay, if she eats 1 ounce of cake, we know her height doubles 1 time. So we're going to take whatever her height is and multiply it by 2. We can write that out as 2 to the first power. Right, because 2 times itself once is just 2 times 2. So your answer for 1 ounce is her height will just be multiplied by 2. For 3 ounces, it's going to be multiplied by 2 once, right? That's what we captured here. And then it's going to be multiplied by 2 more times, which is just 2 times itself 3 times, which gives us 2 to the 3. And if you calculate that, you'll get it equals 8. If she eats 5 ounces of cake, her height's going to multiply by itself 5 times. And at this point, I'm starting to get tired of writing times 2 times itself 5 times. So I'm just going to write 2 to the 5th power. You can plug that into a calculator. You can also do it in your head or use your fingers. And you'll get that 2 to the 5th power is 32. Finally, what you're going to see now is a pattern that's coming out. And once we write all of our solutions in exponential form, you can see that the exponent on the base 2, because we're eating base 2 cake, matches the number of ounces. So if she eats 0 ounces, it's 2, base 2 to the 0 cake, or base 2 to the 0. Her height multiplies base 2 to the first power when she eats 1 ounce of cake, 2 to the third power when she eats 3, 2 to the 5th when she eats 5. So if she eats n ounces of cake, meaning we don't know how many ounces of cake she eats, we can just use the letter n to represent a number that we don't know, and say 2 to the n ounces of cake. Okay, now what you're going to do is you are going to spend some time graphing this. And here I've got a beautiful graph made for you, but on your quiz you're going to use graph paper, so I actually want to show you using graph paper on this one. And this is a part that I'm going to be picky about, and that you may potentially, it's the easiest to mess up. So we know, let's see, let me write this out. So 1, 2, 8, 32, and 2 to the n. The way that this is going to look is you're going to say, well, I've got this big canvas here to do whatever I want. And here's what I'm going to do. I know that we've got a base of 2, and so I might think, well, okay, I've got a base 2, so like every space might be some multiple of 2. I know my highest number is going to be 32, so if I just started counting from 0 by 2s all the way up, could I fit that in? So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 30, 32. That's going to work. Right up here is 32. Great. That works great for this one. Oh yeah, no, it's fine, because I was just wondering if I was showing you the quiz, but I'm using different numbers, so this isn't the numbers you'll see on the quiz. Okay, so we know that is okay, and that each step is worth 2. So if we start at 0, that's at 2. 4, 6, sure, let's write a couple of them. 4, 6, 8, 10. I might skip a couple because I know maybe 16's coming up. Then we'll get to 20. That'll be 30. I'm making a video. Can you come back in 2 minutes? Mm-hmm. So that's our y-axis that we graphed, and this is our height multiplier. Then we know that we have to go to at least 5 ounces, and here is the number of ounces. So if we start at 0, I'm going to, let's see, I know there's 20 spaces here, right? Because that's 5, 10, 15, 20 spaces. And I know 5 goes into 20 4 times. So every 4 lines, I'm going to make 1 ounce. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I can just take my numbers here and graph them. So at 0, my height is 1. Oops, yeah, come back into focus. Which is right there in between those 2 lines. At 1, my height is 2. At 2, we skipped 2. So at 3, my height is 8. At 4, we skipped 4 as well. And so at 5, my height is 32. So if we go ahead and connect all of our dots, it looks like our graph is going to look something like that. Okay, so what I'm really looking for is that each space in this graph is equal to the other space, right? So like here, every space is 2 height multipliers. It's 2 units, and I want you to do the same thing. Not necessarily 2, but it needs to be consistent. So if you have base 3, base 4, base 5, whatever, just make sure your step is consistent. Okay, well, that's a long video. Good luck.